Have you been thinking about getting rid of that old jalopy you've been rolling around in for a couple of years now? If so, I have some information you might want to hear. When shopping for a new vehicle, there are many factors to consider, and I'm going to shed some light on some of those issues. I believe I'm qualified to speak on this topic because I've been following the automotive industry since I was 9 years old, and I just so happen to be a mechanic. The purpose of my speech is to inform, persuade, and convince my audience on why you should buy a Ford product over all other manufacturers. The 3 reasons you should buy a Ford product over anything else are the performance per dollar ratio, the reliability, and the ease of servicing and the availability of parts. Now, the first thing I want to get out there is performance, since I'm a gearhead. Ford has managed to create the most powerful production V8 that America has ever seen. The 2014 Shelby GT500 boasts 662 horsepower, which is only approached by the Dodge Viper, which, according to Edmunds.com, has 640. Now, that may seem like a lot of poke, but the most impressive stat about this car is the price point. At $66,000, it's a bargain for what you get. Now, I know that $66,000 is not exactly pocket change, but you would have to spend upwards of $150,000 on any car from any manufacturer to get that kind of performance. Also, since the namesake of the car, Shelby, has passed away, these cars are now collector's items. The second thing I want to talk to you about is the availability and pricing of parts. So let's say you're a young man, single, not a whole lot of bills, and you'd like a sporty car to drive around in. Well, that's well and good. So you go about thinking about what you want to get. You just so happen to remember that the R32 Skyline is now legal to import to the United States, and they're not exactly all that expensive over in Japan. Well, that's well and good, but what happens when that thing breaks? Because it's a 20-year-old car, it's going to have some issues. You can't just go down to your local AutoZone and get an alternator for an RB25. And that is my point. American cars and parts are much cheaper for Americans to buy simply because they are made here. According to the Fastlane Daily, you're going to spend about 2/3 more fixing a foreign car as you would a domestic car. The third thing I want to talk about is reliability. Now, the reliability rates of any American car from about the mid-90s to about the early 2000s was less than spectacular, I will say. However, that is not the case with the current lineup of Ford offerings. According to ConsumerReports.com, the Ford Focus has been the #1 car in America for reliability 3 years in a row. Now, in conclusion, I have told you why you should purchase a Ford product over all other manufacturers. The performance per dollar ratio, the ease of service, and the reliability make it a no-brainer when shopping for a new car. And again, I feel like I'm qualified to speak on this topic because of my experience in the field. Now, I will say this though, no matter what kind of car you buy and no matter what kind of car you drive, as long as you maintain it and take care of it and do the regular scheduled maintenance, it should last you a very long time. And I would like to leave you with this one tidbit of information. Ford is America's top brand for auto racing. They have been involved in many other series than any other American automobile manufacturer ever has, including Le Mans, NASCAR, and the Nürburgring. So the next time you go to buy a car, I hope you consider Ford. Thank you.